LAX or whatever were like really lame too. That was like ghetto. Do not recommend it. I mean, that's cool if he had a data and he supported it and shit, but was he a fucking asshole too though? I mean, I could cite data all I want, but if I'm a huge fucking asshole and like a racist, then I mean, you don't really have much argument there. I don't know the guy. I didn't read it. I don't know about the Google thing, so I'm not throwing out any judgment calls. I would have to know more. And if this guy was complaining about shit, but he was like a really like fucking hardcore racist and asshole, then I don't really care what he has to say. Because he doesn't really have much fucking ground to stand on. Like if he was just like a fucking dude who wasn't a huge fuck, and he was just getting treated wrong, like yeah dude. But if he's like a whiny ass bitch, like you can judge for yourself. Okay, I'll have to, I mean I'm not gonna read it right now, I'll read it after the stream, but it's hard for me to say, right? Internal memo titled Google's ideological echo chamber that quickly circulated through the company. Soon after the journalist got a hold of the content document. KDkill, there's a memo. I just would like to know who this guy is too. It's like we'd like to imagine that this guy is the most just open-minded, amazing person, and he's been wronged. It's like I just don't know. I'll read it and see. I'll be curious. I'm not trying to say anybody's wrong in here either. He could be totally right, dude. It was just a big piece of shit, man. But it's really hard to say, right? Your innocent eyes? Oh man, the innocent eyes of man. Every white girl in America fill my ass with leaves. Damn. Why do they have to have like little normal dudes too? That's the guy. I'd be curious what they said about the firing. I'm definitely gonna kill this fucker. Like ASAP. The full memo? I'd rather read the full memo. Is this shit even on here? Oh, here it is. I'd rather read the guy's real thing. I don't want some fucking, like, through somebody else's fucking filter bullshit. This is the original link? Okay. I read it. He's pretty neutral. Non-stop flight in 11 hours from Tokyo on Japan Airlines, one of the best airlines in the world, is worth the extra price. Oh yeah, dude. Japan Airlines supposed to be great. I wish I would have done that. I did Japan Airlines on the way back and it was awesome. Or wait, not on the way back. I did Japan Airlines from Tokyo to fucking Japan or China in backwards. It was really good. I should have just done that from LA to Japan. He's pretty neutral. That's good. I'll take the cactus one. I hate news for, like, through other people. I mean, you look at, like, news in, like, America nowadays and shit. Like, this shit's so full of, like, bias and it's twisted through other people. Not everybody's just a nice young man like your boy KD. Like, people are fucks, and I don't trust them. I don't trust fucking news half the time. That's why I just want, like, really just news where people just barely fucking...
To play.
fucking say anything about their own fucking little special snowflake opinions and shit. Cutting stuff out of it, yeah. In the times we live in where you gotta worry about everybody having these like crazy ass opinions and shit, like they might not just be giving you the TLDR, they might be trying to twist it to fit their fucking clickbaity bullshit website. It's like, I don't trust that shit for nothing, dude. I think I could reach him from there. Our code of conduct and cross the line by advancing harmful gender stereotypes. I don't know, I mean, companies got their own rules and shit, man. Shit can fuck. Reputation shit can fuck him pretty hard. I'd just be curious what all he's done there. And I mean, they definitely chose to fucking fire him at a time that made it seem really shady. Maybe he was on the fucking fringe of getting fired, he wrote that, then he hoped to use it as some kind of fucking immunity from getting fired, because it would look so bad if they fired him anyways. Like, who knows, man, what's going on? I'd have to read it. I think the whole thing is cheap, misinformed, no citations to findings. Average women, more of a sleight of hand than anything. So he talks about, like, what does he talk about, the average women not being good enough or some shit? I don't know if I... Is that the kind of shit he says? That's pretty fucked, man. More sleight of hand on average, that means there'll be less of them among the best bets at Google. I mean, they should be banned from working at Google, which is not hired on the basis of a quota. Oh, I mean, I see where you're going with that. I mean, as long as those people, as long as everybody's given the right, like, as long as, like, women and other races and other colors and white people, everybody fucking has the same ability to get to those, like, interviews and, like, you know, attempt to get into the job and shit, and then they're just judged based on, like, their ability alone. Like, I mean, who's to complain at that rate? I feel like it's in those cases where, like, they don't even get that. That's fucked up. But I guess that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the guy's thoughts on it. So he argues about scientific studies on, like, women not being able to do shit as well as men. I'd be curious what studies those are, man. Well, I haven't read this thing, so I'd be walking on eggshells talking about that shit, so I'm not gonna... I'm not gonna fucking throw it. I've fucking said my piece, man. Everybody should have the same fucking ability to do things. And then people should just be judged on whether they can actually do it or not. The thing is, it's so hard to tell if somebody's actually able to do something well. Inherent difference between men and women. Cites Wikipedia sources. Nice. It's funny, it's like 10 pages too, like, fucking A, dude. Fucking type 10 pages in about 2 seconds. Yeah, I don't know. I can't say because I don't know. I haven't read the article, so I don't know what he's talking about. I'm just getting conjecture from like everybody in the chat. All I can say is what I feel about it. It's housekeeping, raising kids. I mean, are women good at housekeeping, raising kids because they've always just been made to do it, so they get good at it, or is that really just like some inherent thing in the fucking women? Like, I don't know. I mean, I have more of an issue with people not being given a chance to do things and try things. I'd have to read the study we're talking about. Was I have reports in the mail about code of contact and cross line by advancing harmful gems in the workplace. So I agree. Cover shipping right. Tell you all my hours when we can do this. Hostile work environment. It's like you have millions and bazillions of people, man. You could fucking hire. You know, somebody's willing to make like a fucking cause a lot of shit stirring and stuff like that. Like, I mean, you're pretty much already on the chopping block anyways. Even if they don't fire you, you're gonna be like fucking on the fringe, dude. I've seen that happen all the time. You start shit in any job, you're fucking like always like a step away from fucking getting shit canned, dude. I mean, I'm not saying somebody should just be fired because they have a different opinion, but if the dude's like always just starting shit, I don't know. Then you're just kind of an asshole. I don't know the guy though. I can't really say. I'm just saying like if that was a thing. I'm trying not to be like, you know, this is the facts of what's going on and obviously I don't know. I'm just talking like my opinions on random little topics, I guess. Openness direct towards feelings and sex rather than ideas. Welcome back, man. Oh, you can do both? Oh no. I mean, what was his reason for making this shit, though? I mean, what if he just, like, hates fucking women, then he tries to fucking... fucking put together something that makes him look really nice, but still fits his goals, man. Like, could be, man. You never know. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but... I just don't know the guy, man. Like, trying to judge this dude from a 10 fucking page essay, like... I don't know. He just got fed up? Okay. I mean, if the guy was like, okay, you know, I agree that... Like, what if somebody, like, what... I mean, would he... If a chick was really, like, way better than him, does he think, like, what, no, like... I haven't read it, like no chick should be in, like, fucking IT jobs, like, in general? Is that what he's trying to say? Because, I mean, that's bullshit. He's trying to say, like, in general, they're not as good on it? Like... Will this guy just be, like, anti, like, every single instance of a chick being in a job? Like, what if they're actually, like, good for it? I would just have to know the guy. It's hard to really talk about one dude's opinion on something. I haven't read it, and it's, like, 10 fucking pages. I can fucking be the most racist fucking asshole ever, and I can make something sound real fucking nice, man. And I'm not an asshole at all. Should be equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome? Okay. I mean, if that's what he's saying, then I agree. Well, that's what I was saying before. Everybody should have the same opportunity. Why doesn't he just talk about that? And all this other shit about people not being as good here and there. For somebody who's trying to just talk about, like, the issues with people getting hired not based on merit but on, like, what they look like, he sure brings up fucking, like, people being shitty at certain jobs a lot. I probably would have fucking passed on that kind of shit. I'm guessing he's using it as an argument that people who are better at the job aren't getting hired or something. I don't know. I wouldn't have went into it as much as he obviously is. Because then it starts looking like he's just, like, against these people in general and not, like, actually caring as much about his original argument. I'd have to read it. I'm trying to, like... Don't judge my opinion too much, but I'm trying to figure out an article through, like, fucking 3 other people's opinions on it. So I haven't read it. You're gonna have to be patient with me a little bit. I've always been about everybody, you know, needs the best chance ever, and people who deserve shit should get it. Who try hard and stuff, but there's only so much I can fucking understand of this article in particular. Overhyped Destiny 2 release soon? Yeah, I can't say I'm too terribly hyped for the old Destiny 2, man. Never have been, really, though. It's just not my cup of tea, man. Destiny 1 was one of my biggest regrets, game purchase-wise. And I'm not seeing this one being too terribly different, especially since it's got more of a focus on PvP. Not that the PvE was good at all in the other one, but... At least pre-expansions and DLCs. He's against diversity hires, and I don't know what the left and right means, straight up. I don't really care about that shit, like, at all. I think when people align themselves with all of these weird parties and sides, they fucking end up having these fucking biases towards issues that may or may not align with what they actually feel like. Just handle everything on an individual basis. Do I have weird glasses on? My glasses are new. Leftist commies? I mean... Fucking 3 words to explain what the left is. I don't. What is? I mean, what is commies generally, man? I have a feeling most people who align themselves with whatever the left is aren't communists, but who don't identify as communists. But that doesn't really answer anything I'm asking. Definitely need much more diversity in certain areas of attack. There's more ideas from different points of view than your own, which is a good thing. I mean, I definitely feel like if it's a job that's purely based on just like raw fucking results and like just getting work done and shit, I mean, of course if the person's better qualified for it, but I mean, if you need like people who can provide something different to the table, then I mean, there's an argument for hiring those people as well. I think it should be clear that they're actually bringing something to the table and not just assumed. Like, okay, this dude's fucking like Korean or some shit, but he may not be any different than like me. It's like, if you can tell from the interview that this guy's bringing something different to the table and his like different opinions worth it, then sure. It's just impossible to tell those kinds of things, man, from like a quick interview and shit. I feel like that's a big problem with like job hiring nowadays, man. You get like automated fucking resume filters and shit, and then you get like a fucking hour interview and the dude barely knows you and you're putting on a face. It's like, especially like creative shit, you definitely want people with different walks of life and shit. So, 10 years in tech industry, as a manager, I'm just performing most. Quality, it's my side, like the rest, yeah. I'm just kind of parroting myself. I'm like a broken record right now. I haven't read this, so it's hard for me to talk about it. I'm trying to stay in it, but I don't want to come across as a fucking dick. It's hard to really have a good opinion when I haven't read something. So I don't want to say too much, man. It's things I might not fully have knowledge of or believe spewing out of my mouth, just to try to stay in a conversation. Not that we can't have it, I just don't know how much more I can really jump in. Nazis, hence Charlottesville. So we got commies and Nazis, man. Sounds like you wouldn't want to be in either of these, man. Quality of opportunity and quality of outcome are different. Yeah. I mean, pretty much everything I'm talking about is just my opinions on like topics getting brought up. I don't know much about this guy. I don't know about his shit. I don't know anything about Google. And I'm not trying to say I do. I'm just talking about shit that I think about the stuff that's getting brought up. Because I'm not going to talk about him because I don't really know him much. Like, I mean, that's what I say every time I'm saying anything about him. Is like, I don't really know anything about the guy. It's lame. Shouldn't pay dude 6 years experience as dude just got into it. I think people are just talking about getting hired and shit. Like diversity hires and stuff. Silent. Like we should hire, instead of like some black dude who has 30 years of experience, we should hire like a white guy with like, you know, just came out of high school, that kind of thing. It's like obviously you would hire the black dude. And it goes in reverse too. LaGuardian's talking about the merits of having diversity for ideas and shit. But we're talking about, mainly talking about this guy who wrote some essay, I guess, internally in Google that got leaked out about how they've got weird practices, and then we're judging whether or not this dude's actually a piece of shit or not, and shit he's talking about. I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience in the field. I haven't read the essay. I've just got like a simpleton's opinion on it. Like, everybody should have the same opportunities, man. Woohoo! Tech industry. For any reason, explains point. It doesn't show race or buyer agenda, gender bias. I don't know. I would have to see myself. It's hard to really infer from you guys how he sounds. I mean, I don't know, dude. It's a 10-page essay too. I'd rather talk to the fucking person, man. I'd be curious. I mean, I can make myself sound like anybody over 10 pages. I'm not saying that that means he is or isn't a racist dude or something, but I don't know, man. Like, if you read one of my high school essays, you'd probably think I was a different person, right? Doesn't mean that's actually like who I am. Like, I'd be curious. He's not typing something straight from the heart, man. He's got an idea for it, and it's a product, and it's probably not exactly what he's feeling. Maybe he is that fucking equality oriented though. I mean, fucking hell yeah, dude. Whatever. It's just one of those things. There's too many unknowns, man. Like, I'm not gonna judge this dude's character on a fucking 10-page essay. Sure, I'd be curious to see what all he's talking about with Google. But I doubt we're ever going to get enough information on that. So all I can really talk about is general topics. But idealistic fucking view of how everything should be, that would never happen. I disagree, and so is the largest tech company in the world. All things are left as well. It's called National Socialism for no reason. He published it, I think. Oh, he published it. Co-workers? I mean, his friends. I doubt he discussed it with the CEO and like random women and shit. I mean, if I asked you guys if I should go do certain things, since you guys are in here and more friendly with me, it's probably going to be like, you know, I went and asked my parents, you know, for something that's obviously wrong. They're more inclined to fucking agree with me. I don't care about his fucking co-workers and friends, man. No opposition to releasing it. In his little hug box, sure, of course not. I mean, I don't care. I mean, fucking release it or not, I don't give a fuck. I guess that doesn't really matter. I don't know why I'm arguing about it. I'm curious why I'd release it within Google, though. That just sounds like he's stirring the fucking shit pot, man. Why not just release it to the public if you think there's an issue? Or taking it up with like higher management. Was it to like get the higher management to talk to? Like, did he think there was like a big enough issue that he could change it with his memo within? Like, I mean, if he just wants to start shit to fucking start shit and be like a fuck, then whatever. If he honestly wanted like change and was concerned, like, that's another thing. But it's like we live in a time period where everybody just wants to fucking start shit and be a part of some kind of big fucking movement. So that's all everybody fucking ever talks about, man. I mean, whatever. I mean, it's fine if it's an issue that needs fucking being talked about and changed, but too many people got fucking ulterior motives on that shit nowadays. On his colleagues' opinions. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of the things, there's too many opinions and different possibilities, and like, I see where Guardians come from, I see where Rebels come from. It's like, I don't know, dude. Not enough information, man. This is the kind of shit that people have like jobs for and spend years, like you'd hire somebody to fucking like go into Google and research this shit for like months and a year, like, you know, months, years, like, to find out whether this is actually a fucking thing. Like, 10 fucking page essay, dude. Fucking write 10-page essay in my fucking sleep, man. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's really enough for me to really sit here and like say like, this is the way things are and this is the way Google is and this is the way this guy is. Like, he might have some points and some topics and shit, sure, but to throw the hammer down and say like, this is the way everything is, like, I don't think it could be said with a fucking 10-page fucking essay, man. No matter how good it is, there's just not enough information. I don't know the person. It's a people issue, and like I'm getting it through like a fucking like random essay. Like, the guy says he's open to diversity. No real world diversity enhancing program meets his standards. He does make some recommendations, but they range from input, make tech and leadership less stressful, to hopelessly vague, allow those exhibiting cooperative behavior to thrive, to outright hostile. As soon as we start to moralize an issue, we stop thinking about it in terms of costs and benefits. None of that degrees as immoral and harsh punishments we see to protect the victims. I'm gonna let you guys duke this one out, man. I'm sitting out of the rest of this because I haven't read this shit. And now we're talking very specific about the shit within it. I'm gonna fucking let Rabbids shoot each other in the face, man. If I can jump in, I will, but I don't want to make, like, opinions just to have opinions. But I'm pretty damn passive towards the whole thing. I'm all down for discussion, though. As long as it's not heated, man. If anybody starts being a fuck, fuck you. BRB.